Welcome, Patreons, back to the Facts of Geek Life. I am the titular Charlie Carden, joined, as always, by a special friend guest. I do have someone new this week. My dear old friend, Candy McFarlin, a.k.a. Sweets for Sweets cosplay, here live with me after much ballyhoo and apparently personal injury. If you're looking at her on the YouTube, she had to get in a car crash in order to get here. So, Sweets, I'm glad that you're alive and you made it to the recording.
I'm happy for both of those things as well.
Well, we're going to be doing something very special tonight, something very near and dear to my heart that we're going to be recording is we're going to start talking about The Simpsons. I have loved The Simpsons since it started out as a series of shorts on the Tracy Ullman Show in 1987. A lot of people who have been listening to Secret Friends for a long time hear me talk about my childhood. My mom was a sales rep at the local Fox station here in Grand Rapids, Fox 17, starting in about 1984, before there even was a Fox. So when Fox launched in 1987, as a matter of course, Fox was always on in this household. As you know, I live in the house that I grew up in, so it was in this household. In this very house is the house that Fox built or maintained. So The Simpsons was a very, very big part of that. So I was super thrilled that when I had the concept to start this show, I reached around to friends, collaborators, people in the community, and Sweets picked right up on this and wanted to do this with me. So Sweets, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of your history of your love of The Simpsons.
Well, I am 45, so I fall right in that area where we would have been growing up with it, and that's exactly what we did. So Sunday nights, Fox on Sunday nights was just like a family thing. So you had The Simpsons and the X-Files, and the show was so funny and topical. Like, looking back on it, it's been a lot of fun to kind of relive those moments of just topical that if you weren't there and in the moment, you wouldn't get those references now. And
right.
But they had their finger on the pulse at the time and even now. So
for a show that has been running, since 1990, one of the longest running, not only animated programs of all time, but really any scripted program of any kind, even eclipsing probably most soap operas at this point. So, well, let's get right into it. We're going to start with season 4, which aired in, I believe, I should have made a note of this, probably the 1993 to 1994 season, if I'm not mistaken. I was in high school. That was my senior year in high school. I could be getting that date wrong. So don't. I mean, I remember when I was in high school, but I'm not sure if I got the season part of it right. But we picked through committee of the two of us. We picked a handful. I think we picked 7 episodes to talk through. I made, kind of a modicum of notes, but if you've got other thoughts, we'll just jump right into it. But what I'll do is I'll read the name of the episode. I'll kind of mirror it the way that we do over on Code 47, my Star Trek show. I'll read the name of the episode, so the people who made it when it aired, and then a little summary, and we'll just jump right on into it, and we'll have some fun. So in no particular order, the first episode I have listed is the Itchy and Scratchy movie, which is episode 6 of the season. Directed by Rich Moore, written by John Schwartz-Welder, from November of 1992. At Springfield Elementary's parent night, Mrs. Krabappel tells Homer and Marge about Bart's behavior. Wanting Bart to one day become Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Homer decides to punish Bart. However, he never makes his punishment stick, and Bart continues on his destructive path. Marge confronts Homer, and he agrees that next time he will make the punishment stick. Meanwhile, Bart finds out that Itchy and Scratchy the movie is about to hit theaters and immediately buys a ticket. However, when Bart one day forgets to watch Maggie, Homer bans Bart from ever seeing the movie. Bart tries everything to see the movie, but Homer refuses to budge. And after the movie closes, Homer declares that one day Bart will thank him. We do flash forward 40 years in the future. Homer and Bart, now Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, decide to watch the movie together. Special note, first appearance of Bumblebee Man. Oh, I know. There you go. Yeah. Boy, where do we even get started? I think we get started, I just kind of made a sub-column of kind of favorite moments. And this one kicked off with a fake movie trailer for a Star Trek movie, and it was kind of with the old cast, and it was William Shatner sitting in the captain's chair saying, "I complain, but nobody listens," and
But
he
no,
asks Scotty to reach for the controls. He says, "I'm too fat."
I
It's Star
cannot reach the
Trek.
control panel.
Star Trek, so very tired. Anyway, so I've done a lot of the early talking. What are kind of some of your thoughts, some of your favorite moments digging into Itchy and Scratchy the movie?
Uh, I really loved Marge's fear of what Bart will turn into. And that was the Bang Bang Bart in the
That's one of my notes. More meatloaf, baby.
More me to live. Um, Bang Bang Bart's pretty good, and now Grandpa gets to break your teeth. Like that's just
And he's like, "All right."
that's always a good one too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, what are some of the other notes I have here? I said the three R's: reading TV guide, writing to TV guide, and renewing TV guide. Oh, or Krabappel reading through Bart's in the parent-teacher conference, reading through some of Bart's crimes, and I just picked a random one: replacing my birth control pills with Tic Tacs. Or later on, when Bart's trying to cover up whatever he's doing, he says, "Oh boy, time really flies when you're reading." He looks down the Bible. Oh my gosh.
This sign that it just rains blood all over everyone for the Itchy and Scratchy movie, the promoting the trailer and how they change it, after the movie as well.
What was the
Um,
I didn't make a note. What was the follow-on
they changed
movie?
it to the Barber College.
Blood shooting
So
outside.
there was
Oh.
blood shooting out
Oh my gosh.
from the Barber
And
College.
I could have used Homer's advice a few months ago because I was up for jury duty. I didn't have to go, but his advice is the trick is to say you're prejudiced against all races. Thanks, Homer. That's a good one. Fortunately, and again, I didn't have to go, but that definitely would have been my strategy.
I wouldn't take any advice from Homer.
You don't
Like
think
none.
so? It
No.
just gets worse and worse. What about neighborhood hoodlum Snake on a regular Snake stealing a VCR? Oh no,
I
beta.
wouldn't.
Which is funny because VCR is an obsolete technology now anyway. But it's hard
Yeah.
to imagine there was a time when there was even there was one better than the other. So
Yeah.
yeah. So any final thoughts? Again, they just couldn't really do any wrong. Everything was a great giggle for as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. It was the little heartwarming moment at the end is always a nice little aw.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So $650 to see
Yeah.
a movie for 2 tickets, which doesn't
Yeah.
really seem that far off. And so,
Yeah.
Soylent Green, but hold the butter. Oh my goodness. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to our second selection, which is one of my absolute favorites. Episode 9 is Mr. Plow, directed by Jim Reardon, written by Jim Vitti, from November of 1992. See, I was wrong. This is 92-93 season, not the other way around. So this is even earlier still. So after I love this. Ooh, I got him as good as he got me. Homer, drunken in a snowstorm, drives home, crashes into both family cars in the driveway. And Homer takes the insurance money and buys a snowplow. See, that's what you need to do now. See, so you had that car, you had that car wreck. Take that insurance money, and you can become Mrs. Plow down there in Jackson County.
Well, thanks.
So
I'm good.
yes, no, yeah, you're good. Yeah, not the new side hustle that you need to enhance your life.
No.
So yes, he buys a snowplow, meaning a truck, and starts a business plowing driveways, calling himself Mr. Plow. But his good friend Barney, inspired by his success, decides to start a rival company with the help of Linda Ronstadt, which I absolutely just, first of all, I love Linda Ronstadt, but it's just perfect. And so he becomes Mr. Plow the Plow King, and overshadows Homer's efforts. But in an effort to get it back, Homer tricks Barney into plowing the dangerous Widow's Peak, which gave me one of my absolute favorite lines, which I'll quote in a second here. Barney does so, but gets trapped in an avalanche, and Homer rushes to save him, and the two decides to work together. But God melts all the snow, and Homer, missing his payments, gets the truck repossessed anyway. Oh man, kicking off, RIP to Phil Hartman and his
Yes.
fantastic portrayal of Troy McClure. We get one of his many, I'm Troy McClure, you may remember me from such. In this one, it was The Erotic Adventures of Hercules, which I don't want to know. Oh, all right. That was my kickoff. Give me some of your favorites.
I like when Homer is talking to the police about the accident, and he's got his little conversation in his head, and that he has to try and say out loud. He says, "What is this, Moe's?" And like, it's a pornography store. I was
I was
buying
buying
pornography.
pornography. Oh, who's
Nice
watching?
little.
Who's watching TV at 3:17 a.m.? Alcoholics, the unemployable, angry loners. Uh, when Homer produces his great commercial.
Yeah, that
Um,
really avant-garde commercial that was
right. Very avant-garde.
yeah.
Oh, I love when Homer's looking for new vehicles, obviously, before he stumbles upon getting the plow truck. He's in that off-brand like Yugoslavian car lot. And the guy's like, it's made by a country that no longer exists. And Homer tries to start. The guy says, she's stalling, put it in H.
Put it in H. It goes on like
Oh.
30 hectares of
30 hectares to the hogshead. There you go. A couple of really great lines in here. We have the waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos. Todd and I throw that one out there every once in a while. And then my absolute favorite again, Linda Ronstadt, huge fan. She's gotten a little bump lately with one of her songs being in The Last of Us, which I adore. Let's see here. Oh yes, there's of course the Kiss My Asphalt, and the awesome when he's up on Widow's Peak, and Homer makes a remark that sure-footed as a mountain goat, and they show a goat fall and fall and fall again.
Yeah.
So I like that one. Anytime I'm in a somewhat unsettling situation, I go sure-footed as a mountain goat.
Sure-footed as a mountain goat.
Oh my gosh. And the cringeworthy moments right at the end. Plow is repossessed, but Homer's still got the jacket, and it turns into a sexual role play in the bedroom. I'm glad they cut out when they did.
I always like Marge's little giggle, though. She's got a cute little giggle.
Aw.
Marge's little giggle. But yeah, the Mr. Plow jingle. My brothers and I used to sing it all the time. The Mr. Plow jingle.
Do 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 do.
Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
I've got two other great ones. I've got this one I say absolutely all the time. Bernie saying to when he plows Adam West's driveway, he does a cameo at the beginning at the auto show,
Right.
and then he plows it and so that he can drive away in the Batmobile. And of course, Bernie says, "So long, Superman. Your secret identity is safe with me." All the time.
Yeah.
And then Homer is taking a call from the collection agency, and he goes, "Oh, you want the Mr. Plow who plows driveways? This is Tony Plow, from Leave It to Beaver." Long pause. Yeah, they were gay. Which president is on the $10,000 bill? All of them? Oh my goodness. Oh,
so
okay.
The him trying to eat the key to the city also was amazing. And
there are teeth marks on this. I thought it was chocolate.
It was chocolate. And to finish up, my favorite part of the whole episode is the sea shanties.
The set, yeah.
For the captain, yeah, that was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Humor that didn't age well back at the car show. There was Fourth Reich Motors that was a Nazi spoof. Yeah, I would probably stay away from that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but of course, yeah. Any final thoughts before we move on? Again, great episode. And the Simpsons in general, I think, really holds their own with these great quotables. But again, I think it's it's really, really, really made off of kind of our own childhood experiences. So okay, well, we're just flying through these. Episode 12 of the season. Will go down in history. Greatest Simpsons song of all time. Marge versus the Monorails, directed by Rich Moore and written by Conan O'Brien. This is where he got his start. His career began on The Simpsons. The Simpsons writer room was packed with serious muckety-mucks, Harvard grads, guys from the National Lampoon's magazine at Harvard. There's one podcast I followed on and off where they talk about the writing was so biting and so sharp because they had guys who were Ivy League educated writers who were blowing this out, which is nuts for an animated show on Fox. In the 90s, it's like,
Right.
well, these are some of the finest writers in the country. So anyway, this is from January of 1993. After Mr. Burns is caught storing his excess nuclear waste inside Springfield Park's trees, too many bald children, he is ordered to pay the town $3 million, or as Chief Quimby says, $2 million. The town is originally set to agree to fix Main Street, but the charismatic Lyle Landley, see, I can do the voice, and again, Phil Hartman, interrupts and convinces the town to use the money to buy one of his monorails. The town embraces the suggestion, and Homer is hired as a conductor. Wow, great choice. The only person remaining not so pleased with the whole situation is Marge, who discovers suspicious evidence and visits a town that had previously purchased one of Lanley's monorails. She discovers that Lanley is indeed a con man and rushes back to town. And of course, they pepper it throughout the episode. His little drawings of me, suckers, money. However, she arrives too late and the monorail has begun to operate. But Homer is then advised to use an anchor to stop the train, thus saving the passengers. And great cameo by Leonard Nimoy, Spock himself. Weren't you one of the little rascals? Oh my God, where do we kick off? I love it. When at the beginning, when Burns is busted by the EPA agency, says, "We caught you in your little game of hide the ooze," which I think could have a lot of really unpleasant meetings. But I do love the nuclear squirrel that lasers the acorn and grabs it with his tongue.
Yep.
And of course, all those bald children are arousing suspicion. Those are my favorite. Oh, and then Homer reading the comic strip section of the newspaper, and Andy Cap, you wife beating drunk. just not very PC. All right, your thoughts. Take it away.
Also in the park, that radioactive tree that had the tentacles. That's that was a great one. And the Main Street potholes.
Ooh, look at that pavement fly.
Looks way too much like
any road in Michigan.
Yeah,
anywhere.
Any Michigan road. But then when that corn truck falls into it, and the popcorn truck, and then it the whole pothole fills with popcorn.
Oh, poor Hans Mole, man. He dies in every appearance, doesn't he? He is immortal. And he must be, because he's so old already. But yeah, he can't be killed. It's amazing. Yes, I love Mr. Burns as Mr. Schnrub. I'm Mr. Schnrub because he's just wearing a mustache. He's trying to get his money back. And I'm from somewhere very far away. I also use that one all the time. Anyway, I had to jump in. Please go ahead.
Oh, no. It's Marlon Brando is Truckosaurus.
What?
Marlon Brando is Truckosaurus.
Oh, my gosh.
And what my favorite part is at the end when Leonard Nimoy says, my work is done here. And he's like, you didn't do anything. He's like, didn't I?
Didn't I? And he disappears, beams out. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Barney is the monorail foreman. Terrible choice. While Homer's studying to become the monorail operator, Bart takes a real pride in him, and he says, wow, Dad, I want to, you've inspired me. He says, you know what I want to do when I grow up? He says, or I don't know what the setup was. He says, change your name to Homer Jr. The kids can call you Hoju.
And another line that we used to say all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Or, when Homer he's in the cab of the monorail, and, he opens, the door for the emergency brake, and it's a family of possums. And it's just a family of possums in here. And he goes, I call the big one Bitey. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else we have. Oh, we have the return of poor Lurleen Lumpkin, who was the country singer of back last season that lusted after Homer, but now she has the same voice as Lunch Lady Doris. Yes, ouch.
Does. Yes.
That stuff. Yes, there's my line where Leonard Nimoy says to Quimby, says, do you know who I am? I think so. Weren't you one of the little rascals? This was somebody on Twitter noted this. They said, Lyle Lanley is doing his quick getaway, and Lisa stops and says, don't you want to see the monorail run? And he says, well, I have to catch a plane. And she says, but it only takes a minute. My plane leaves in less than a minute. Oh, no. Oh, geez. The cosmic ballet goes on. Does anyone want to switch seats? Oh, the
Hannibal
mon?
Lecter,
Yes,
the Mr. Burns' Hannibal Lecter during the trial.
yeah,
That's
the $3
really
million.
valuable.
My wallet's in my right front pocket. And what can we say about the monorail song? Oh my God! Now I have that "Songs in the Key of Springfield." I had the CD, which then became it was on my iPod, and now it's on. I have a subscription to Amazon Plus Music, which is how I listen to music all day, every day. And that one is a separate playlist. So I'll be like, I gotta hear some Simpsons, boop, and that's the top song. I mean, I'll bet anyone who's a fan of The Simpsons could probably knock that out one bit
Oh
for bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Monorail. Oh, the file photo of Homer with 1,000 cigarettes in his mouth. I just love that. Oh my God. Let's see. Did I have anyone else in here? Oh, so they're doing the wrap up and donuts. Is there anything they can't do because when he throws the anchor down, it snags on Lard Lad's big donut? But
Right.
then the VO at the end is going over some of the other terrible inventions in Springfield, the popsicle skyscraper, then flanked by the giant magnifying glass, which makes it catch on fire. And then my favorite is the escalator it's Marge is doing the VO at the end. The escalator that went nowhere, and it goes on for probably like 15 seconds. It's just,
Yeah.
whoa,
You.
whoa. Oh yeah, this is this is top 10, I think, of any Simpsons episode. I just don't think there's anything else I could ever really catch up with it. It's
Yeah.
definitely one of the favorite. And like I said, I don't know that this was the first like big solo script for Conan O'Brien, who of course everybody knows who Conan O'Brien is. He's gone on to be late night fame and stand up fame and being an actor and such. But it was truly, to me, it was a work of art. Absolutely nailed it. So, any final thoughts before we move on?
No, that summed up all my thoughts.
Excellent. All right. Moving on to episode 15 is I Love Lisa, directed by Wes Archer. Writer is Frank Mula from February 11 of 1993, so just before Valentine's Day in 1993, my senior year in high school, when girls wouldn't touch me with a 10-foot pole. So I can guarantee I spent this Valentine's Day alone. But it's Valentine's Day, and everyone in Lisa's class receives a card except Ralph Wiggum. Out of pity, Lisa quickly writes one up and gives it to him, and the card says,
I choose you.
Aww. And gives it to Ralph, much to his delight. Ralph quickly develops romantic interest in Lisa, but understandably, she's not interested. However, she does not know how to get rid of him. Ralph invites her to go to Krusty's 29th anniversary special, which I love. Hey, 29. And she reluctantly accepts. During a televised talk session with Krusty, talk to the audience. This is always death. Ralph declares that he loves her, and Lisa explodes and declares that she never liked Ralph. Ralph becomes heartbroken. For the President's Day play, Lisa is cast in the role. This was so great. Lisa is cast in the role of Martha Washington, and to her horror, Ralph gets the role of George Washington. She becomes very afraid that Ralph will embarrass her, but Ralph gives a rousing performance. After the play, Lisa and Ralph decide to be just friends. I love it. What a great tale. Kicking it off with I love it because I worked in radio. I love W or KBB. Excuse me, it's K because they're on the West Coast. When I was in LA recently, I had told the story to April. I said, well, east of the Mississippi, radio stations start with the W. West of Mississippi, the radio stations start with the K. My dad taught me that when I was a kid. I try to impart that useless knowledge to everyone if I can. Oh, you have a cat visitor.
I have two. There's one.
Oh my gosh. I'm in
there.
my new studio space, which is in the basement
Very
of my
nice.
house, and I closed the door because the litter boxes are down here. Not that I think that's an issue, but I know that they've been so needy lately since we got back from vacation. They just start meowing. Like in the night, it's almost, we had one of the first or second night we were back just kind of meowing and kept us up half the night. But I digress. Speaking of things related to love, I love kicking off with the radio station twice that for the Valentine's Day song is the Monster Mash. You played the wrong song, didn't you? Because he tries to justify it. Well, monsters lurching around, dancing. Oh, Ned's Valentine's Day song. He takes the "Do You Think I'm Sexy" by Rod Stewart and makes it G-rated. Yuck. Anyway, lots of good stuff. Take it away.
Well, obviously, just the choose me is like perfect. It's adorable. Bart taking the one of the hearts that they were going to serve for lunch and having it explode out of his chest. My baboon heart.
Oh my
Uh,
god! What were the hearts? The hearts. It was a big truck of. Was it horse meat or what? It was like.
yeah.
What? Oh my
um
god! Oh, can you believe
uh
Flanders threw out a perfectly good toothbrush?
okay. That's right. The
Oh.
crusty home pregnancy test that may cause birth defects.
I don't even really know how that'd be possible. It's unimportant.
I know.
Oh.
Um and Ralphie's heart ripping in half. Like the
Oh
moment, like when Bart
yeah.
keeps replaying the moment when Ralphie's heart keeps ripping in half.
Aw. Oh
Aw.
my gosh. Oh, that I'm sorry. That was a line from Lunch Lady Doris when the guy was dropping off the hearts. Said, "Just do your job, Heart Boy."
Yeah.
It kicked the truck to make all the hearts fall out of
All
the
out.
dump truck. Oh my goodness. What else have I got here? Chief Wiggum's never underestimate the appeal of a man in uniform while he's sitting there with his underpants, shooting the walnuts with his gun on the kitchen table. Oh my god. Oh yeah, really? I keep my pants on in this
In
version.
this version.
Oh no. One day people like us are going to stand up to your crooked cops. Oh no, have they set a date? And yes, oh my god. Yeah, instead of Fire Drill Follies, we'll now have the Mediocre Presidents. What a great song. We are the mediocre presidents. You won't find our face on dollars or on cents. I'm not going to sing the whole song. But again, it's on that CD.
But
And
you
if you don't
could, yeah.
have it, yes, and I still know it. So, but yeah, Ralph absolutely crushed it in his portrayal of George Washington.
Did.
I did think it was kind of weird that they had an actual fire on stage in a elementary school play, but whatever, it's a cartoon. We get a good groundskeeper Willie. We haven't had a good groundskeeper Willie line yet in the season, at least that we talked about. He said, "I didn't cry when my own father was hung for stealing a pig, but I'll cry now." Oh no, but I like it. But yes, the episode ends with Ralph and Lisa having their cathartic moment where they figure out that they can be friends, and the radio comes back on, still being Valentine's Day again. It's the Monster Mash. So
Monster Mash,
I mean, how could that song not be considered romantic? I like it. So Fire Drill Follies, would love to have seen that. That was my other note.
Right.
I don't know, any other thoughts? Just great, great stuff.
Bart's Nixon butt. That was pretty good.
AB baby, I'll be back. Unhand me, Yankee. Oh my gosh. All right, moving right along. This is funny. This is the first time I've done one of the segments of the show where we're doing something that's a sitcom, and that's a half an hour. So it's going a lot faster, and we're just talking quotes and having fun. This is as much fun as I've had doing this. So I appreciate you coming on here.
Awesome.
And hopefully we'll go on to do more of these. So anyway, all right, moving on. Episode 20 of the season is Whacking Day. Oh, yes. Baby. Barry White. Yeah. Jeff Lynch was the writer. John Swartzhelder come back into the directing from April of 1993. Bart is expelled from Springfield Elementary, which probably has happened like 50 times in the course of the series, but whatever. So Marge decides to homeschool him. Now, I mean, homeschooling is more of a thing now than it was back then, but whatever. Especially during COVID. Springfield's annual holiday arrives, Whacking Day, a day specifically designed to drive snakes into the town square and club them to death. Sounds great. Most Springfielders celebrate the local holiday, but Lisa is appalled, but her protests fall on deaf ears. Lisa and Bart manage to convince the town about the nightmare of Whacking Day, and Principal Skinner decides to allow Bart to return to school. Note, first appearance of Superintendent, or Super Nintendo, if you prefer, Chalmers. Super Nintendo Chalmers. Oh, this kicked off with a great, while they were, because it was Skinner's plan to round up Jimbo, Kearney, and Nelson, and then Bart, the most troublesome kids, and like stick them in storage basement B to kind of sweep them under the rug for the visit. So as he's calling their name over the PA, you see that Nelson is outside with Milhouse on the ground, and is stuffing leaves into his shirt. And I want you to keep filling up your shirt with crud until I get back. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, and right away the dynamite chemistry between Chalmers and Skinner. It's always the children's fault, isn't it, Seymour? Yes, yes, it is. I just absolutely think that, and we get what's that rattle? What's a battle?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, so that's enough for me. Take it away. What are your kind of some of your favorite moments here?
When Bart, when they get into Bart's desk and the seagulls fly in to like get all the garbage and stuff coming out of his desk.
Rack, rack! She's chasing after her with a broom.
And that's one of the little silly non sequiturs that I love about The Simpsons. Like some of the best moments in the episodes have nothing to do with anything that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just like a silly little dumb visual that makes you
Yeah,
chuckle. So
absolutely.
um,
No, it's a hallmark of the series without a doubt.
it is, yeah, just wonderful. Bart, or I'm sorry, Grandpa as the German cabaret singer. We get to see,
Boy,
Grandpa.
they had designers. I did wear a dress for a period in the 40s. Oh, they had designers back then.
Exactly. Marge getting overly excited about the whacking stick.
Oh, whoa. Ooh, that was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, a little. He's whacking in the living room, and she's getting real wound up about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And do you remember that when Daddy hit the referee?
Yeah, with the whiskey bottle. Yeah. Oh my God, what are some of the great ones I have? Oh, I love with Lunch Lady Door. She's also the nurse, and Chalmers' question. I get 2 paychecks this way. And then Kent Brockman is on the news. Described it says a tradition called distasteful and puerile by a panel of hillbillies. And who can forget? And again, you had mentioned it. Homer's little thought bubble when he's trying deep thinking about something that's happening, and it's him in a devil's costume dancing over his own grave. I am evil Homer. I am evil Homer. Oh, there's a toss out to Oliver Stone, who's a very controversial filmmaker in the 90s. Oh yes, and like you said, squeeze your rage into a bitter little ball and release it at an appropriate time. Oh yes, so, yeah. Let's see here, and then of course appearance by amazing R&B singer, the late Barry White, singing his song to draw all the snakes away so they won't get whacked, and they all end up in the Simpsons house, and it's revealed that and this is hurtful to people like you and me. Whacking Day, an excuse to beat up the Irish. Oh, Candy and I are both of Irish descent, so oh well. That's just how they stick it to our people. They always have. Oh well. Oh, we get a very classic Grandpa line in this. I hate everything but Matlock. Ooh, it's on now. You're nothing but a pack of fickle mushheads, which Quimby says when everybody. He's right. Give us hell, Quimby. Oh my gosh. And then at the I love the end of it because it's Skinner realizes when he says, yes, Bart, you can come back to school and be reunited with your classmates Jimbo, Kearney, and he realizes he never let them out, and he's like, so they're on a truck, and he's like, mountain bikes. He says, do you think they're still alive? And he says, if not, we ride this thing to Mexico. And he just goes, I'll turn you to the first toll booth. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I actually, is this last one? Not quite. I jumped backwards on this one. I did a little bit bad. We got 2 left, but I jumped a little bit backwards with this one. So we go all the way back to episode 1 of the season, and again, an absolute classic, Camp Krusty. This was directed by Mark Kirkland, written by David M. Stern, from September of 1992. Bart and Lisa go to Camp Krusty for the summer in order to have a break from their parents and vice versa, and meet Krusty the Clown. However, their promises for a fun summer at Camp Krusty are broken when the director of the camp, Mr. Black, is revealed to be a ferocious accountant, and the camp counselors are the 3 teenage bullies from the school, Jimbo, Kearney, and Nelson. See, I remember. Meanwhile, Homer is rejuvenated with the kids gone and begins to regrow his hair and lose weight, which is, lose weight, yes, regrow hair. You'd have to get hair plugs or something. I'll deride that logic. All of the kids at the camp are treated horribly, and Bart survives by clinging to the promise that Krusty himself will soon arrive. However, when that doesn't happen, Bart leads the campers in a rebellion, and they eventually take over the camp. Homer sees a news report and immediately loses his hair and gains his lost weight. The real Krusty, the end of this is the greatest. And this is a song I know I have on rotation on one of my playlists on Amazon. We're going to the happiest place on earth. He takes all the kids to Tijuana, and it's portrayed in a series of vignettes at the end. But yeah, yikes. But we'll get to that at the end. So, I love last day of school. Bart's report card is all F minuses, which I mean, I never got a grade that bad, but I suppose it's possible. And it's awesome. Destroying the school is cool. The vignette of them burning the books, not so much. Again, kind of like the Fourth Reich Motors back in the Mr. Plow episode. We probably ought to stay away from the Nazi humor. So, shame on you guys. But all right. And then I'll cap mine up before I kick it over with another one of my favorite Homer lines, and this definitely worked in this house. When you're 18, you're out the door.
Yep.
All right, take it away.
Ralphie's appearance is different in this episode.
Oh, really?
The first couple of episodes of the fourth season, the characters were still getting a little fleshed out. So Ralphie looks different in this episode.
That's weird.
I don't believe he speaks either.
Oh, okay. I know Martin shows up because they send him to fat camp, but
Martin shows up. Yeah, nope. Ralphie's just kind of there. You can tell that it's Ralphie, but he's just slightly.
That's weird. He must
not rounded out yet.
He must have not gotten much play in season 3 if they were still because by later in the season he has his own episode.
And he's got his own episode, yeah. So there's a couple of adult humor that kind of flies past you when you're younger. So one of them is Bart's locker combination, which is 36, 24, 36. And
didn't fly past me. I was a 17-year-old boy.
How old was I? I was like 15, I think.
Oh my.
But I mean, like, I got the reference, but again, this is a cartoon.
Yes, exactly.
And so it was kind of like more adult humor. And the part where they're getting ready to leave for camp, and Marge tells Lisa to be careful of leaves of 3, leave it be, and Homer says leaves of 4,
eat some more. Oh boy, you see, in that I didn't get either. But again, like I said, you get a little older and understand, such things. It becomes a little bit more evident. So, oh yes, fat camp for Daddy's chubby little secret. And I love the Mr. Black, the generic recording that I'll leave you in the hands of my very good friend, Mr. Black. I love the some of the camping tortures. Shut up and eat your pine cone. Hey, Simpson, tell your mom her cookies suck. I no longer fear hell because I've been to Camp Krusty. I am so, come on, Bart. I am so Crunchy the Clown. And Mr. Black and Krusty does have laryngitis and a bad back, so he won't be saying anything or doing anything. Oh my God. And then, the last 3 bullet points are, and my friend Brian Cole likes to quote this one. They drove a dump truck of money up to my house. I'm not made of stone, as far as why he signed off on the terrible camp. And then, yes, he says, I'm going to make it all up to you, kids. Get ready for 2 weeks at the happiest place on earth, Tijuana. And they show this big vignette of him taking them down. And he takes them to a cockfight, and he's passed out in the street with a tequila bottle in his hand. And then they're driving away in the truck. And then that's one. And then the next shot, the truck's further on, and Krusty's chasing after it. So,
right.
I mean, what a great way to start the season. Not only because it's like, well, as kids, we're all back to school, and for teenagers like us, we're like, well, we really don't go to summer camp anymore. But just think if we went to summer camp and it was, right, this corporate nightmare. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, rolling back a little bit, Homer, before they go, just best dad ever. You've got little hands. Can you reach down and pull that roller skate out of the lawnmower? and of course, Camp Krusty built on an actual Indian burial ground. That's awesome. Oh, good stuff.
Go ahead, please. Yeah, it's just the noises they make when they're eating. They still do that ravenous, like, all the food and
pigs at a trough.
Yeah, cracks me up every time.
And Marge is like, "This is the last," and Marge gets all teary-eyed. She's like, "Last time we'll be eating together for months." Oh my gosh! All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this one off, and this is tough because picking a favorite is difficult. But for me, even more so, Then the monorail one is, as far as quotables, is this last episode we have, and this would be episode 11, which is Homer's triple bypass. And I chuckle, but my dad's younger brother, my Uncle Chris, just had a successful quadruple bypass. He's 62, and so that part of it kind of hits home. But I watched this again before that all went down. But I'm glad he's doing okay. But this is obviously played for laughs because Homer's never really in any danger. But at any rate, yes, Homer triple bypass, directed by David Silverman, written by Gary Apple and Michael Carrington, from December of 1992. Due to his many years of eating unhealthy foods, Homer suffers a heart attack and needs triple bypass surgery. But he has to choose. This is ridiculous. He has to choose. This is choosing your healthcare options. Huh? Hopefully, it's not really this bad. Choose between the $40,000 operation set by Dr. Julius Hibbert, which he cannot afford, or the $129.95 operation performed by the spectacular Dr. Nick Riviera. When he chooses the cheaper surgery, Homer begins to accept that he might die. However, the operation goes well. With a little help from Lisa, Dr. Nick saves Homer's life. I mean, oh my God. We got a couple of rapid fire quotes to get started. They're watching an episode of Cops in the beginning, which is just about the Springfield cops. And you see Wiggum and Snake drives away, and he says, subject is driving a car in the direction of the place that sells chili. Subject is hatless. Repeat, hatless. And then Homer says, oh, God, I can't wait till they throw his hatless butt in jail. All right. Your turn.
To continue with the Bad Cops theme song, when they're fighting the mummy, randomly.
Oh, you can stop a mummy with gunfire. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Bed goes up, bed goes down.
Bed goes down.
Bed goes down. And the 1-900 Doctorb.
The B is for bargain.
And also the heart picture in picture, where you can see like Dr. Hibbert talking to him about, his heart and keeps getting good and bad news alternately, and it keeps going faster and then slowing down and then speeding up and then look at that blubber fly.
Oh my God. Oh, I like the radioactive dye, but doctor, this is a radioactive dye which lets us see all the systems of your body. But doctor, I haven't inserted the dye yet. Cancel my afternoon. Yeah. Oh, great Homer flashback where you got Grandpa who is thinking about, Homer is young and he's singing in church. In the nursery, you see Homer in the nursery, he's sucking out a piece of pizza, and he said, "How did he get that?" And the nurse goes, "Meh." And then he's singing in church, and he's got this amazing falsetto. And Grandpa's in the pews. He says, "My Homer is going to make me a millionaire." And then he goes, he's singing. What is he singing? Ave Maria or he's Silent Night or something? And then hey, my voice changed. Oh, night when Christ was born. Oh my goodness. And he's having a meeting with Dr. Burns, with Mr. Burns, and he has another one of his heart attacks, and he says, he has an out-of-body experience, and and then Mr. Burns says, send the widow a ham, and he goes, ooh, and he goes back into his body. Sir, he's still alive. Cancel the ham. Don't.
Cancel the ham.
Oh, and again, the whole concept of, you think that it's a life-saving operation and they would just kind of do it, but they're not like, well, you can either pay $40,000 or $129 or we'll just let you die. But yes. And when he's in the hospital finally getting ready, he's in pre-op, Flanders is in the bed next to him, and Flanders goes, if I could give you my heart, Homer, I would. Shut up, Flanders. Oh, and the great aside in Sunday school, and they come back right in, and it's the ellipsis. The teacher's just finishing up, and that's why God causes train wrecks. Oh,
Homer eating fondue in bed.
Or just in the beginning when they're watching Cops in bed, and he's got a turkey and a pizza and all this. Oh my God, all this different stuff. We have a few great ones to wrap it up. Let's see here when Lisa whispers in Homer's ear because he's like trying to last words to his potential last words to his kids, and she said something very heartfelt, to Bart through him, and then Bart does the same, and she says, and Homer mirrors. He says, "Lisa, I just want you to know that you're adopted, and I don't like you, Bart." Oh my God! And then Dr. Nick, obviously, he's got the procedure on a VHS tape, which gets taped over with the end of the Girls of Spring Break. Not helpful. And then, as we're winding out, Dr. Nick is accosted by one of his former patients. To which he says, "My old friend, Mr. McGregor, with a leg for an arm and an arm
And
for a
arm
leg."
for a leg.
Oh my gosh! All right, what were some other gold moments for you here? Anything?
Those are it. Yeah, that wraps that up. Like it's perfect. It's a great episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, cool. All right. All right, season wrap up. Again, I know we had 7 episodes here, and there's typically 20 or 24 in a season back in the old days, but of the ones, either of the ones that we watched or maybe of some of the ones we didn't, because I know that when we were talking, you just kept watching, so obviously you watched
Yeah.
a few more of these. So overall favorite of the season.
Treehouse of Terror, like of horror. I mean,
Yeah.
that is like all of them. I've always
Yeah.
loved them. They've always been like my most favorite because, as you know, I just love Halloween in general, and
Right.
that particular season was
Yeah.
really good.
What were some of the highlights of that particular one? It's not coming to mind from me
Let
right
me
away.
look because I
Look at
have
the I
notes.
know. You see, that's why notes are so good. I do them on the Googles, which is why you see me looking over here to the right because on
Right, right.
my
Well, I
two
mean,
screen experience here. Yeah.
when I'm sitting on the couch watching, I'm just like,
Right. Yeah,
um,
right.
so, Bart dressed up as a Clockwork Orange.
No. I hadn't seen that movie until recent years, and it's really very disturbing.
It is very disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. Um, oh my goodness.
Your notes
Oh,
are letting you
okay.
down.
Yep. They are. They are letting me down. Okay, so this is the one that's got the Krusty doll that is possessed and
I'm
has a
gonna Homer
arm.
Simpson. I'm gonna kill you. Ooh, didn't even pull the string that time.
Exactly. Exactly. And then he makes him like his little slave at the end and bringing
Right.
him like a can of beer and changing the
Right.
channel for him and
Right. Then he
um
goes to live in Barbie's dream or it's Malibu Stacy's dream house, and coming home to you, baby, makes it all worthwhile, and her head falls off.
exactly. Exactly. And them trying to resurrect poor little Snowball and
Aw, and all the
so
zombies.
all the zombies come out of the grave and
Zombie Shakespeare, which is amazing that
yeah,
all these historical figures are buried in the Springfield Cemetery.
yeah. And Bart wearing the Thriller album on his head and while he's like chanting
Oh boy.
to say
Oh
the
my
spell
goodness.
uh,
What?
and then the Homer was the King Homer, the
Oh
King
God,
Homer
yes.
parody
Oh my
one that
gosh,
was
good
really good.
stuff.
Give him a snoot of this gas bomb.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, for the favorite for me, not hard to, I mean, I just said it, but I was gushing obviously all over the monorail, but the Homer's triple bypass was without a doubt for me the most quotable and just the most endeared. So I didn't really prepare you for this one, but do you have a least favorite?
Um, I don't particularly like the Marge doing the musical.
Oh, the streetcar for the streetcar.
Streetcar Named Desire, yeah. That one is it has John Lovitz in it, who I love, but like in general, it's just too much of the screaming Stella over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like annoying to me.
Dun 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 dun. Streetcar.
Yeah, exactly. But
Oh.
yeah.
I hate and love clip shows. It was a big
Mm,
thing back in the day, so I'm just kind of
mhm.
like, eh. I mean, they still find a way to kind of spice it up and make it kind of more exciting. But yeah, I thought it was kind of Dudsville. So, all right. Well, to end things, and you might have to pull this out of thin air, or it could be something that we've already talked about. But top quote of the season. Can you think of one?
Um,
I mean, hopefully, I picked the best episodes here, so it's one that we've already
yeah,
talked about.
yeah, it is probably one we've already talked about. Look at that blubber fly. sticking in my head right now.
Oh,
Because I can just it brings such a visual of him
he's
just
like,
like yeah, like,
woo.
with the butterfly. If I had to pick one gun to my head, that's gonna be it right now.
I love the one, and I think it goes all the way back to our first episode. But it's when they're at the PTA before they go off to the parent teacher conferences, and the kids are talking. They're talking to the kids, and he says, "All right, we'll stop off." And oh no, excuse me, I'm mixing this up in my head. It's talking about good people living and good people, good people live, bad people die, and it was from the triple bypass episode. And it's Homer talking about Lincoln, and he's trying to pull it out, and he says, "What did Abraham Lincoln do to deserve to die?" And Homer says, he sold poisoned milk to school children." Did he? I don't know. I mean, he also killed vampires. I remember that
Yeah,
deal.
I've seen that
So,
movie.
oh my gosh. Well, that is it, and I can't believe we pulled almost an hour out of this. I was like, how is this going to go? Because this was an experiment for me. This is about the fifth or sixth episode of this show that we've done, which again, it's exclusive to those who are our Patreon subscribers, and we're very grateful for
Hi,
you guys.
Patreon subscribers.
So we love you guys. But Candy, where do people find you out there on the interwebs and in person and all that kind of fun stuff? Tell us a little bit about what you do. Probably should have started that way, but here
Probably
we
should have
are.
said. Probably. So I am a cosplayer known as Sweets for a Sweet Cosplay. So that's Sweets, the number four, a sweet. You can find me on all the things. So I'm on all the socials as at Sweets for a Sweet. And I've been cosplaying since about 2011 and cosplay a lot of characters from Disney and the Muppets and just kind of pop culture in general, and try to promote body positivity in cosplay.
Absolutely. And you do a fantastic Selma, which potentially you might grace us with that at the future recording. So, what do you say? I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you enjoy doing this? Are you going to come back for
Yeah.
another
Oh,
one?
yeah, for
All
sure.
right. Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we want to, over the course of doing this program, we want to keep doing these, talk about The Simpsons. So, well,
Yeah.
Candy, thank you for being my guest. You have crushed it. I loved having you, and I can't wait to come back and do some more of these. So, as always, you can find me out there primarily on Twitter as at the C3. Go ahead and spell it out. My lovely wife, April, and I, of course, do run the USS Grand Petoskey. That is one of the largest chapters of the Star Trek International Fan Club in the world, and certainly here in West Michigan. You can find us at a website of that address and across most socials as such. I'm going to bid you adieu, my good friends, Patreon subscribers. Thanks for being there. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring, and to keep on trucking.